Good morning. I'm so glad you're here today, and welcome to my beautiful backyard here in Northern Illinois in the Chicago. Here we go. And I'm really thrilled that you are back here again visiting with me. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you. So, my name's Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert and I am a burnout coach. I help women navigate all of the challenges of trying to be a high functioning, happy, successful woman. And usually women who, are in this place of they don't set good boundaries, they don't understand mindfulness, they're overwhelmed. Usually they've been through this before. They've been through it when they were younger, when they had to get therapy. Hi, Wafrida. Nice to see you. When they've had to get therapy, when they've had to sort things out. But now it's coming back around. All of the issues that they had when they were kids are starting to pop back up. Except now the level of stress is so high in our world that the coping skills that we developed, decades ago aren't working anymore. And so a lot of women are really stuck trying to figure out, how do I survive this new chapter in my life? And that's what I'm here to do. So one of the things that women come into my office with is feeling very ungrounded. They don't feel confident. They don't feel secure in what they think. And definitely because all the things that have worked, for decades in keeping you level and balanced and sane, all of those things are no longer working. And so for so many women in this new age that we're living in this new society of different pressures than they had 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, when a lot of self-help information came out, we have different pressures and we need different similar solutions, but done in a way that's reasonable. You can no longer just go and move to Tahiti for the fun of it. You can't just check out from everything. Technology has made it where we're just overwhelmed and overstimulated. So today's topic is about mindfulness. And mindfulness can be equated quite nicely to feeling grounded. And when you're present, when you're in your body, when you notice what's going on around you, when you are hooked into what's happening, things go just so much better. When I work with women, what happens is we kind of plug into each other and then we go on this adventure together, and we're both hyper aware of our environment, of what's going on inside of us, what's going on outside of us, and it's a really successful appointment. It's a really successful connection because we both dialed it down and hooked into what was going on in the moment. And mindfulness is about that. It's about being able to get out of, this area, being up here in our head. Hey, Meredith, being up in our thoughts and in our anxiety, and dialing it down so we can pay attention and be present to what's going on. Because if you can see things coming from a couple miles away, it means that you can make good decisions. If you can notice the subtleties, of people's communication or timing, you're able to navigate around it. Problems will continue to show up in our life and in our world no matter what happens. Our gift, we're successful when we learn how to navigate around these boulders in our life which show up. And overwhelm and exhaustion is one of the big boulders that we have right now, overstimulation. So, okay, how do you get regrounded? How do you become mindful again in your life? Well, I'm going to give you one of my favorite ways to do it. It's very easy. Hey, Sky, and there's a lot of science that backs it up. You go outside, you take your shoes off, and you put them on the ground. Preferably something that is alive, like grass, nature of some sort. The earth has all of these electromagnetic fields going on, all of these crazy things going on, which your body when it's in tune with the earth, when it's vibrating at the same, wavelength as the earth does, it gives us that sense of grounding. It's almost like plugging into the massiveness of the earth. And if you think that this is a metaphor, it's not. This is a reality. When you take your shoes off and your feet are directly on the ground, your body physically starts to entrain to the earth and to what's going on. And within 10-15 minutes, you're going to start, hey Lisa, nice to see you. You're going to start to feel your anxiety dial down. You're going to start to feel the creepy crawlies on your skin. Hi Lisa. And that overwhelm in your head, can't get your head straight, start to dial down. So my number one tip to get mindful again, that's easy, cheap, quick, even if you're at work, is take your shoes off and go put them in the grass. And if it's winter, take your shoes off and find a way where you can be closer to nature. Find a way to get that connection. Even if it's cold out, even if there's snow, you can find someplace somewhere, okay? So the next thing that helps you become mindful, and water, I know people hear me say water a lot, but water is great for mindfulness because what it does is it increases circulation. It increases your blood circulation. And when that happens, your blood vessels open up and you become more aware, not oversensitized, but because you become calmer and more aware of what's going on around you. So you can intuitively guide around it. You become more mindful because you're not freaked out by how you feel. One of the things that gets in the way of mindfulness is how we physically feel. When we hurt, when we are tense, when our heart's beating too fast, when we have a headache, when our skin is crawling, when we just have this general level of anxiety, we are overstimulated and unable to connect with the world around us. And so when we're not aware of what's going on, then we get blindsided, then we get overwhelmed, and we make bad decisions. So drinking, when you're like, I'm feeling overwhelmed here, I'm feeling, ungrounded and unmindful, stop, drink some water, and it physically makes you more present and aware to your environment. The third tip I'm going to give you today, so the first one was easy, go outside, get your feet on the ground. Second one is drink a glass of water and notice over the next 20 minutes or so how that water makes you feel. For me, it starts to give me the chills. It starts to give me a cool feeling that goes through my body because that's all my blood vessels opening up and that exchange of heat. So the third thing that I'll give you, my quick tip for how to get grounded again so that you can be more successful, is the easy one that they do in yoga all the time, but it's not so easy. It's paying attention to your breath. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, a lot of people think that by paying attention to your breath, you have to breathe in a certain way. And I'd like to suggest to you that when you pay attention to your breath, even if it's fast, even if it's hard, even if it's out of control or erratic or you're holding your breath, when you pay attention to it, it automatically starts to calm it down. It automatically starts to let you get more present to your surroundings and what's going on around you. So you don't even have to change or force to change your breathing. Just paying attention to it will expand it, relax it, and start getting you to use that full breath. And if you're having fun with it, I want you to feel how everything in your body moves with that breath. Every breath that you take, you can even feel your toes move because it all contributes. And if you go one step further, if you want to play with this, then you feel your breathing and you also feel how the outside world changes with your breath. So if I take a deep breath, I feel the air on my skin differently than when I take a shallow breath. It feels different. I want you to start hooking into those three things when you need to get more mindful, when you need to get more present, and when you want to move forward. And if you do these as daily rituals, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, you will start to see, your body will start to learn how to relax, learn how to be mindful. And you'll notice one day and you'll turn around and say, hey, I'm a lot more mindful than I ever was. And I'm a lot more successful in my life than I ever was too. So, okay, here are your 3 things for today. Because most of us are ungrounded because we're overstimulated and overwhelmed by technology and all that other jazz. Step number 1, take your shoes off, put them in the grass. The physical action of doing that will entrain you to the earth, which is a calming, leveling state for your body. The second thing, drink a glass of water. Because when you drink water, it changes your blood vessels. It opens them up. It allows better circulation in your body. And by doing that, your nervous system and your skin and everything else is allowed to calm down. And your thoughts will calm down as a result. You won't feel so anxious or depressed because everything starts to calm down. Hey, Dina, great to see you. And the third thing is to just pay attention. Don't change anything, because sometimes that's too hard. Don't change anything, but just pay attention to your breath. By paying attention to it, it will automatically start to change. Because what we pay attention to is what grows stronger. It's what we feed. It's what we, it's what our body starts to heal. Good morning, Dina. So just paying attention to your breath, the action of that will start to change everything else. There's this neat research science query about, does an observer change the outcome or change the results of an experiment? Yes, in many ways. It's very difficult to do an experiment in isolation because the observer, hey Janae, good to see you, directly affects the experiment's outcome, and especially when it's in your body. So what you're observing directly affects everything else, your nervous system, the depth of your breath, your thoughts, your blood circulation. It affects everything. And you don't have to do anything. That's the key. The key is don't do anything. Just pay attention to it. And when you pay attention to it, it will start to change, it will start to ease, and you will feel much more mindful and present to what's going on in your world. Okay? So, your homework assignment today is to do just one of those things. Mindfully, aware with awareness. Go outside and feel aware of how you feel when your feet are on the ground for 10 minutes. Drink a glass of water and be aware of how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel cold? Does it make you feel warm? Does it calm you down? Does it slake your thirst? Pay attention to that for about 15-20 minutes. And the third thing is pay attention to your breath. And the fact of paying attention to your breath, just noticing your breathing and what it does and where it takes you and, what thoughts pop up into your mind, that automatically will make you more mindful because you're getting back in touch with your body. And why is it good to be mindful? Because then it means you can see when the train is coming before you get blindsided. It means that you're able to look at a situation and problem solve it and not freak out. It means that answers and solutions come to you that you didn't have before, that you couldn't see before. When you become mindful and do this regularly, you become more successful because you are now a more connected, in tune, effective version of you. You become a higher version of yourself when you do those things, okay? So I'm excited for you. This is exciting, good stuff to get more grounded and more mindful and just watch how your life gets better, okay? Do one of those 3 things and then comment on it. Let me know what you did. I'll answer back to everybody. And the more that you love, like, and comment on this stuff and comment on other people's stuff, the more this wisdom gets out in the world, because it's not my wisdom. But I take it and I'm making it contemporary so that we can actually use it in the world that we live in and not in some fantasy world, of unicorns. And although I'm not saying unicorns don't exist. Okay? So cool. Try one of those 3 things. Like, love, share, comment, and let me know how it's going for you. Have a great rest of your day. And let's see. Today is Friday. So I'll see you Monday. I'll talk to you later. Bye.